for me, she's not perfect. And at the beginning, she's young and impetuous and sexual and sensual and a young woman. And then as the play progresses, she's so beaten by things, but she becomes so refined in order to... And that was, for me, what was the most interesting thing about playing the Duchess, and how wonderful she is as a human being, because no matter what happens, she remains on point. And she kind of becomes so delicate towards the end, like a feather even. My laurel is all withered.
Was it claustrophobic a little bit on so small a stage?
Yeah, you have nowhere to hide, which was really challenging at first, but something that I ended up adoring. You know, there was every angle you could, you knew that there's something was going to get picked up. I think it's really rare with that style of theatre as well, to not have to kick it out, not have to shout it out and bash away at it, which was so great for the Duchess of Malfi, because it became intimate and there was moments where you could really reflect, and that could be seen. So we got more of an inner world, we could get a bit more intimate with the characters and the relationships. Even when I get strangled, the audience are watching you, and you can see them because they're lit.
Sir, for Mandragora to make me sleep. Go tell my brothers when I am late.
Did you feel that there's a kind of synergy between this play and this space?
I think that it made sense much more to know that the audience were part of it, and the fact that they are observing one another, even from before we come on stage, means that this sort of tension is created, which is so important in this particular play. The Duchess of Malfi is about oppression, about being boxed in and caged, and everybody's sort of observing one another. It's about espionage, and so therefore the fact that the audience was so very much there felt right. Also, in terms of the candlelight, it just, the themes of the play are light and dark. The Duchess is light, and the world around her is dark. Also because volume-wise, it was surprisingly supportive, and you didn't have to do as much as you thought you would have to do because it was so resonant. You could speak like this, and the audience could hear you. You could be intimate.
Are there moments where you could almost whisper?
Yeah.
Can you remember any of those lines that you could really bring it down?
Just before I die, when I'm talking about all the doors being opened, that was another sort of, the space felt so right for that, because I just imagined all the theatre doors sort of opening, and so it just, vocally, it just felt like I could just speak.
I know death hath 10,000 several doors for men to take their exits, and 'tis found they go on such strange geometrical hinges, you may open them both ways.
It was nice because I'm not sure, I'd never seen the Duchess performed before, but I think it can be quite sort of, quite over the top.
Brassy?
Yeah, and quite sort of, oh, and I just thought, that's not the Duchess. She's more dignified than she doesn't have to do that. She is stronger than that.
You get to speak one of the greatest lines ever written in the English language. How did you wrestle with that line?
It's a weird thing. It's like with Hamlet, you're going to say this line, and I sort of tried not to think about it. I didn't put any actory notes on it, or like what's my action, or what am I trying to say with this line, and it went through many evolutions in the rehearsal process. What felt true to me was, I am the Duchess of Malfi. Still was like it was a punishment. I'm still her, and this is what it is stopping me from living a truly free and beautiful life. And then as we got to the end of the play, it became what I was afraid of was, I am the Duchess of Malfi still. It was a, you can't, I'm so great and you can't take that away from me. But at first I was afraid of playing her sort of as this, I am the Duchess, you know, and because I think that's what everyone expects of that line. But it was always, every night, because the great thing about it is that in that part of the play, I was always in this place. I'd always gotten to a place where it would come out as it would come out, so I couldn't consider it, which is nice. It's not, I think it sort of just happens, that line in her. And so it wasn't, every night would be different, and that's very exciting always.
I am Duchess of Malfi still.
That makes thy sleep